So welcome everyone to this Twilight where we'll be looking at ThingLink. So my name is Lisa Antani. I teach digital literacy and computer science at Lindsay Meadow Primary. My degree is in software development and I'm back at uni doing a computer science qualification. I'm part of East Dunbartonshire's MIEE team. We're hoping to recruit some more, so if you're interested, please get in touch alongside Michaela.
Hello, I am Michaela Dixon. I'm a primary one teacher at West Cleddons Primary School, one of two digital leaders, and my fellow colleague digital leader Caitlin is on today. Hello. And I've been doing this for a wee while now. I did it last session, and the last school session I've been an MIE expert alongside Lisa and a few other colleagues in East Dunbartonshire, and it's been a blast so far, so really enjoying it. But I do feel like a broken record coming on and saying this. You might have already seen us by now, but yeah, hello and good afternoon, and thank you for coming along today.
So ThingLink, what is a ThingLink? ThingLink is award-winning. It won one of the EU Technology and Education Awards. It makes it easy to augment images, videos and virtual tours with lots of additional information and links. It was founded way back in 2010 in Finland by a PhD student who was fascinated by Vygotsky's theory of learning and how our language and our vocabulary develop through interaction with our environment, whether that be a physical environment or a virtual environment like ThingLink offers. And basically that whole concept was the inspiration for a ThingLink, was just being able to link and explore. And the main benefit of a ThingLink that I've personally found is that it's highly engaging for pupils, which is why it's one of my favourite things to make, because you know if you make one, pupils are going to get a lot out of it. The danger with ThingLink though is some people see a ThingLink and they think, oh, that's what it is, and they kind of have this sort of set fixed idea in their head about what it is and what you can do with it. However, that's really not the case. It's super creative. You can do so many different things with it. So just to start off today's session with that in mind, Michaela and I are just going to go through a whole bunch of different ThingLinks so that'll hopefully set your mind wandering and realise the sheer potential for creativity that's available with a ThingLink. So this is a ThingLink that I created back at the beginning of the school year when our primary ones were learning about rhyme. So if you explore around here, we've got the ever awesome Jack Hartman singing a song about what rhyme is. If you're an infant teacher, you'll be well acquainted with Jack Hartman and his songs. We've just got a little instructional piece of text. It's saying, click on the star to learn about rhyming words and then sort of explore around the various different tags. So these little sort of circles you see that are pulsating in the screen, these are what are known as tags. And basically to explore a ThingLink basically involves exploring the tags. So if I click on this one, it takes me to a little Humpty Dumpty activity where I can play a game. If I come back here, this is taking me to Little Miss Muffet. And if I come down here, it's taking me to a rhyming game that I can click and play. Internet's been slow, probably because I've got a zillion and one windows open at the moment. And over here, we have got a little quiz that has just been made in forums. And the children explore the ThingLink and then they go through and identify the rhyming words from these pairs of picture cards. So this is just using Microsoft Forms, and that obviously embeds into ThingLink. So that's that one. The next one was, again, back at the beginning of the school year. We were doing a virtual meet the teacher because obviously the parents weren't allowed in. So the background for this one is a panoramic photo that I just took on my iPhone of our primary 1B classroom. And we've got different areas of the classroom, and if you click on them, you get some information about that area for parents. So explaining what happens in numeracy, talking about our literacy, talking about hand hygiene. In the middle here, we've got a link to a 360 video that you can actually click and drag to see all around the primary 1B classroom. So people were able to just click and explore exactly what that classroom looks like. And over here, we had the class teacher introduce herself and just talk about what was happening the first few weeks of term, and some more information about, what to bring in your school bag and things like that. So that was a replacement for parents coming in for Meet the Teacher. They got given this virtual Meet the Teacher resource. Next up is a lesson resource that I used during lockdown. So I sent out a sway that had a link to this ThingLink in it. So computer science for primary ones. And it was expanding their idea of what a computer is, because lots of people think a computer is like a desktop computer or a laptop computer. But actually, a computer is anything that takes in input, processes and stores data, and then outputs it. So if you click on, for example, the camera, that is in fact a computer. If you click on the plant, it's not. So this was just a little activity to reinforce their learning. So it was simply telling them if what they clicked on was a computer or not. So that was just a little activity. And then we had our virtual classrooms. So we would look at what we were focusing on for that week. The teachers had a Bitmoji. So this is Miss Wallace again in primary 1B. And we had this background that I made up. We'll show you how to do that later. And then we had various links. So for example, the month of the year songs next to the calendar. We were learning about time that week. So we have like a little time quiz in, which is self-marking, just made in forms, which is embedded in there. Got the wonderful Jack Hartman again, singing hip hop around the clock. And we've got some songs in there that link into our learning. And some activities. And again, we've got Miss Wallace talking about that week's learning and a focus on our tricky words. So they could click and go through the songs to reinforce the tricky words we were doing that week. So that's that one. Next up, these ones here, I did not create. These are done by Mark O'Neill over at St Macans. So huge shout out to Mark for letting me use these. These are choice boards. So obviously this one was for Burns Day. And if you click on these, it's just giving you some options of different activities you can do linked to Robert Burns. So you can see over here that pupils were to choose 3 of the activities from the selection here. So there's that one, and there's another one again made up by Mark for Chinese New Year. So they've got choice board of different things and different activities they can look at connected to Chinese New Year. So hopefully that sparked some ideas. If not, Michaela's got some more to share with us.
Okay, so got a couple of different examples just to get you thinking. It doesn't always have to be a virtual classroom, although I do absolutely love a virtual classroom, especially since my classroom can become very messy in primary 1. So here is one that we did a way back at the start of term, and we did a topic on dinosaurs. So just looking at what the children had learnt so far. And all these little tags were basically just voice recordings of them saying a sentence about something they'd learned about dinosaurs. So again, just capturing the children's learning, and it's a good place that they can then explore it as well. And they like hearing what each other have learned. So if you click, you can then hear what they said. And then you can hear the play to learn happening in the background as well. So that's one example. Another thing we did at Christmas time was we did a virtual advent calendar. And the children again recorded a little message about Advent or Christmas or something they like to do at Christmas. And then we did a big Merry Christmas. So, and then this was, we used to open each door each day by listening to whoever's message it was that day, and we'd listen to the other ones before we finished for the holidays. So, and then the picture for this story as well, that was made on Pic Collage on an iPad. So it was really, really easy, just getting a background and then adding the text with the numbers just to create the boxes. So again, another app that you can download on a school iPad, and it's really quick and easy to use to create a background for a ThingLink. I've also got one that our school uses, and it's like a virtual help desk. So this was really good during remote learning because we had like Microsoft Teams. If you were stuck with something on there, you could look at these different videos, and when you click the videos, they are embedded. So it means if you had trouble logging into Go, here's a video to show you how to do it. If you had trouble downloading Microsoft Teams, here's a video to show you how to do it. So we had all these videos and then different links to guides, different things that have been created for that. And again, just embedded videos just for different sites and how to access these. Or one of the problems we kept facing was that Safari wouldn't let us on the Active Learn Primary website. So again, just a wee video to show you how to get on there. And then different links as well. So things like timetables or how to download Teams, all these different things. So we just linked everything and put it all in one place. And it meant that if there was any questions, we could redirect them to this ThingLink, and it could support families to help their children get onto things that they were trying to access, resources. We've popped our YouTube channel on there, the school website, our Twitter, Bug Club links, Sumdog, all the rest of it. And then again, if you'd forgotten or lost a password, we were asking them where to go so they could access that again. So that was a really useful one, especially during remote learning. Another idea for ThingLink is gathering pupil voice. So recently I just did a space topic with my primary 1 class, and they had lots and lots of really, really creative questions. And what I did was I took them from a thread on Microsoft Teams, because they did this during remote learning, and I popped all of their pupil voice in little tags. So why are there so many stars? That was one of their questions. Why do stars twinkle? So I've kind of grouped these two together and tried to cover them in the one lesson. Then we had how many moons do planets have? What does the moon do? Why do some planets not have moons? So again, grouping them together. And then it actually helps me plan what I'm going to do next with my class. So because I'd kind of grouped the questions together, so what are black holes, what do they do? Could scientists ever put a robot in a black hole? All these different kinds of things. It helped me to plan, but also gathered all the pupil voice, and then it kept me on track when I was planning lessons at home for the children, because it meant that it was all there. And then at the very end of the topic, we went through each one, and they were able to answer each of the questions, which was really, really good as well. So that's another way we can use it. Just after Chinese New Year, one of the things that we then related back to space again was where are we in the world? So we put in different facts about not just me, but about the children, about places they had been or places they want to go to when COVID and everything is all over, or places that they maybe have relatives and things in. So for example, if you click these, you can then hear me.
Lewis and Ollie would like to go to the North Pole.
So you get the idea. So you can also insert audio, so that as soon as the button's clicked, it's a good accessibility feature. And as well, you've also got the
Lewis and Ollie would like to go.
My voice. So if we come back again, here's another one. And this one I'll talk about was cloned. This actually wasn't originally my idea, but again, just like Lisa was explaining there, ThingLink for our concept this week is time. So what's the time walk? Walk's our little Westie for our class. And these icons were actually cloned, which means they were copied from another ThingLink. And basically, I didn't have to do any of the work here, apart from add a couple of my own. And so I've got some voice tags again.
Boys and girls.
But, for example, an embedded video again about the months of the year, just like Lisa showed us, the Days of the Week song. So this was lifted from the lovely Amanda Picard on Twitter. And again, I'll talk to you about clones in a little while, but you get the idea. So again, quite overwhelming, but lots and lots of colour, which I do like. But I know this isn't ideal for every learner, so it might be that you're just very mindful of the images that you do use in your ThingLinks as well. And I'll go on to this one later on, but I'll pass back to Lisa and stop sharing the screen.
Thank you. So creating a ThingLink isn't as difficult as people think in my experience, I think, because it looks quite involved, because there's a lot of different things going on. People tend to think it must automatically be quite tricky to do. Actually, it's not. All we have to do is sign in to the ThingLink website, and you can do that using your Glow email address. They've synced them up now. Originally, you had to create your own account from scratch, but now they're synced in with Microsoft Office 365. So that's up and running, ready for you to do. And the next thing to think about is, what's your background image going to be? So what's the sort of base of your ThingLink? Is it going to be just a regular photograph? Or it could be a digital illustration, like the sort of Bitmoji digital classrooms, for example. Is it going to be a video that you've recorded? Or is it going to be a 360-degree photograph? So that's the sort of first thing to decide on when you're making your ThingLinks. With the 360 in the classroom, Mr. Cameron, I used the Google Street app, I think it's called. It's a free app I downloaded, and it synced up with Google, and then I just embedded the code into the ThingLink. So yeah, decide first of all, what is your background going to be. Next up, you have to think about, are you going to create your own background? So are you going to be doing a sort of digital classroom with a Bitmoji of yourself? If that is the case, I recommend joining this Facebook group. It's called the Bitmoji Craze for Educators. It is American focused. However, what they do on there is a load of teachers upload backgrounds that they've made, usually in Google Slides, sometimes in PowerPoint. And because all the individual elements are, individual clips, you can go in and delete and mess around with them and change them as you wish. So they put them up free to share. So I've taken quite a few from there. Another resource is Teachers Pay Teachers. Although quite a few of the resources on there you do have to pay for, there is actually a wealth of Bitmoji backgrounds. There are 3. You do need to create an account with them, but it doesn't cost anything. And you can get some great resources on there. Let me just share go back to sharing my desktop, and I'll show you these. Yep, so this is, because Bitmoji is sort of paired up with Google, a lot of the resources tend to be Google Slides. So what they do is when you click to clone them, it saves them to your Google Drive account, which you can create for free if you've not already got a Gmail. So you can see along the top here, I've already got some different Bitmoji resources here. So if I double click on this is obviously created by a teacher called Pint Size Math. And if you go through the slides, you'll see that there's various different backgrounds and there's various different bits and pieces down the bottom here. And it is literally just a case of clicking on them, copying them, going back to the background that you have picked, and then right-clicking and pasting. It's that simple. I find it quite creative and quite fun to do. You're literally just clicking, copying and pasting to create your own little sort of digital environment. So it's not a case of you're having to start from absolute scratch. You can just go through these resources, take what you like and mix them up how you like. So that was that one. This one I took from that Bitmoji Craze Facebook group. So someone just, I think it was a few nights ago, just shared a spring one. So I can just come over here, and obviously that's the teacher who created it, but I can just simply click on her and delete her, and then put my own Bitmoji image in there. If I don't like any of these elements, I can just click and delete them, or I can move them around to different areas. You can completely personalize it, and it's as simple as a PowerPoint slide. It really is. It's just a matter of clicking and dragging. So there's all these different backgrounds here that you're obviously free to go ahead and use. And then this one here is one I use a lot. This is from this is a free one from Teachers Pay Teachers, which you can see I've messed around and edited with already. And there's, again, different backgrounds that you can mess around with. So there's, these are some of them are just one piece like this one, but some of them have individual elements that you're able to click and personalize to your own taste. So yeah, it's worthwhile just having a look at what's already out there rather than starting completely from scratch. I know, Michaela, you do it differently, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a wee bit of a PowerPoint geek. So yeah, I do sometimes just start from scratch, but I'll show you how to do that shortly. But it's really nice to see all the different things, and the fact that people are even sharing them as well, it's brilliant. It's such a quick time saver as well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's people look at them and think, "Oh, that's quite involved. I've not got time to be doing that," but it is actually incredibly quick to do. So yes, definitely worth checking out the Bitmoji Craze Facebook group and just the free resources on Teachers Pay Teachers. When you go onto Teachers Pay Teachers, down the left-hand side, there's a column where it says price. Just click on the free box, and it means you're only going to get shown free resources. Always like a free resource. Okay, so once you've decided on your background, whether it's your 360 image or your photograph or your sort of Bitmoji digital classroom, the next thing to decide on is what is your actual content going to be. And the great thing about ThingLink is you can pretty much put anything in there. You can have videos in there, you can have text, you can link to websites. As you've already seen, you can put a forum in there with a self-marking quiz. You can actually put Scratch animations in there, which, loving computer science, I was very happy to see. You can have Google map images in there. You can have a calendar in there. Obviously, as Michaela's already shown, you can record your voice in it. Pretty much any content that you can find online, you can get put into a ThingLink. You can also put PowerPoint slides in too. You can put Google slides in, all sorts of stuff. The 360-degree, I think, are particularly impressive, and ThingLink has now enabled them to work with VR headsets, which I'm very excited about. I've not had a chance to explore that yet. I do have a VR headset that I've got, but I've not had a chance to play around with it. The video is really great when you're doing digital learning, just for pupils to be able to see you. I think they really like that. So yeah. Loads of options and loads of different ways you can get content in there. With regards to images, these two websites are recommended by ThingLink because they have a wealth of public domain images, so you don't have to worry about breaching copyright rules. And it's really great. They've literally got thousands of images you can use, and the museums ones are particularly good if you're looking at a particular artist or something like that. They're great images to put in there. And when you go to creating your ThingLink, you saw already from the examples that Michaela and I showed you that you have the little circular tabs. And basically there's 4 types of tabs. You can have text and media in a tab, you can have simply text, or you can embed content from elsewhere, like your PowerPoint slides or your Google map, things like basically content from elsewhere, or your Microsoft form. That obviously goes into an embed tag. And then after Michaela's gone through those 3 tags, I'm going to talk to you about tour tags. So we'll come on to them. Oh, I was just going to quickly share those websites that I was talking about so you can see them. This is them here. So this one here has got a whole bunch of art collections on it, and you can get those images for free, all in the public domain. And then the museum one, 2.8 million images. I mean, if you can't find something useful in there, you've really got a problem. So these are really great to explore and look through, to fit in with whatever topics or learning you're doing in class. I just love the fact that you're not breaching copyright rules and you can just go ahead and use them. So I'm now going to pass you back to Michaela, who's going to actually show you how to create a ThingLink.
Here we go. So we will create one from scratch. So if I was going to create a ThingLink myself, I do usually do it in PowerPoint. So I'll start from scratch. So this was one I was playing about with earlier. So if I had a slide here, I would literally just delete the boxes, the text. And again, so that you know that you're not breaching any copyright rules, I sometimes just flick through some of the stock images that are through PowerPoint. So even if a Bing image search, you've got your Creative Commons only ticked there, so that means you don't have to worry. And I quite like this background about space, so I'll insert that there. And then I'm going to drag this over and just make it the whole size of the slide. And these are really good for backgrounds, but the other thing that I wanted to share with you is, if I just duplicate this slide and I'll delete this. So I've got a blank slide again. If you go into pictures online and literally search wall and floor, so like the classrooms, there's lots of stock images in that you can get access through PowerPoint as well. So, for example, just go for this one. So again, it means that you're still, if you're more comfortable with PowerPoint, you've maybe not tried Google Slides yet, then you can do that. And if it's not the right size, then you just adapt it. Or again, another tip you could maybe go into, if you go to design, you can change your slide size here. And especially if you do custom slide size, I quite like making it the same size as an A4 sheet of paper if I'm going to print something out. But not for this, because you want the graphics to be really, really precise. But again, if you change it, you can then ensure fit or maximize, and it will change the size of your slides in there as well. So if you're wanting to print anything from PowerPoint, you can do that in the design tab, and then slide size, and then custom slide size there as well. So I'll pop back to my space one, and I'm going to insert a bit of emoji that I've got from earlier on. So I've got lots of different space ones here. I think I'll go for me standing. So again, sometimes your Bitmoji will have that white background. Now, again, if you were at our pre-recording lessons, you'll know that there was a couple of ways that you can do this, but because my spacesuit's white, I'm assuming if I do this, it's going to take away all the white. So I'll undo that, and you can go to the remove background option instead. So you can see it's got most of me because it's recognised that, but I'll just mark some more areas to keep. So I'll go up to my helmet. There we go. And down to my boots. Who knew I'd be talking about space boots and stuff on this training today? So I'll keep those changes, and it's removed that white background from my Bitmoji. Now, I quite like a little glow if I'm floating about in space. So we'll go, the blue's quite nice. So we'll go for that. And I'll just pop this down in the corner here and resize me, because I don't think I'm quite as big as a planet, although I have got a little lockdown weight I need to lose. So here we are. I've got my Bitmoji. I'm ready to go. And I've got quite a nice background here, but what I'm going to do is just put a little message for my class so they know what the ThingLink's going to be about. So I'll add a shape, and I'm going to add a little speech bubble. If I press, now you can have it all going all shapes and sizes, but if you hold the shift key, it'll make sure it's the kind of in proportion size. I'll fill the bubble with white. I'll take away the outline, so no outline. Right, just add a little glow in here as well. Quite like a glow. We'll go for yellow. So I've got this here. I'm going to pop a little message in, tilt it ever so slightly. There we go. And then if I right click, I can edit the text. I'm just going to say explode. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say have fun. Now we can't see the text because I think it's white. Go for purple. I'll change the font. There we go. So have fun, loading the tags, and complete the quiz. So maybe highlight the text, make that slightly bigger. There we go. So now that I've got a background ready to go and ready to upload, I'm going to go to File, and instead of Save As, I'm going to export it, and I can go to Change File Type here and Save As. And there's a big long list here, but you're looking for a PNG file. So PNG is quite a good file. You can do JPEGs and things as well, but I always tend to go for PNG. It'll then ask you if you want to save all the slides as pictures or just this one. If you have created more slides at the side, I'm just going to go for just this one. I think it'll have saved it as presentation 1 by the looks of it. I'm now going to go back to ThingLink. And once you have created an account, you would log in, and this is what it looks like. Now, this is my ones I've already showed you here, but if you create folders, you can organise them as well. So you can keep ones maybe for different subject areas or different classes, just depending on what your setting is. But to create the ThingLink, you're just going to click the blue button that says create. So again, you've got all these different kinds of options, your blank canvas. So you can start with just a blank one and maybe have a little explore yourself and just have a go. Trying out the different types of tags and things. Then we've got an image which I'll be using in a minute or two. just like Lisa was talking about, here's your 360 image or virtual tour. There's lots of different types, so you can go through these at your own leisure. And again, I love the idea of this, Lisa. You really need to try this out and let me know how it goes.
I can't wait to try that out.
I know the VR experience will be something else, I'm sure. So if I start with image, and it's just take a minute. I want to create an image and then continue. And I will just upload. I'll upload a file. And again, you can upload from I'll go back, sorry. You can upload from Google Drive or OneDrive or Unsplash if you've got something saved on there. But I'll just go to upload files. And I saved it. I'll go for this one just now. So I saved it somewhere else. This is very similar. So ThingLink space, and then continue. And you can pop it in a folder if you want to. So you can create the folder name for a new folder, or you can enter the folder name, and then you can skip, and it will just go in your My Content section. If you can see that here, My Content, it will just pop into this part at the bottom. So I'm just going to go skip, and that's where it will go. And then I'll click it here. So just like Art Attack, this is one I made earlier. And what we're going to do is we'll just explore the different types of tags. So you've got your image now, you've got your background, and you're ready to go. You can do, there's lots of different settings here, which we can talk through as well. So if you go to edit, this is where you start adding your tags. So there's different settings, which again I'll come to, but we'll start with tags. You go to add tag. Here's your different types here. So Lisa's going to go over the tour one. So your first one, add text and media. So it comes up like this, and it always shows you a preview of what you've got there. So the icon is what the little tag button looks like. So I'll add these things first. So title, we can maybe do, we'll do something about Saturn. And then we'll add a description, Saturn as rings made of. And then we can add a button maybe to link it somewhere else, or you can keep it just as information. You can then upload images. So if I upload one here, go to, there we go. That's not Saturn, but that's where it works. So that's the image I've got at the moment. So yeah, so we've got Saturn, and then we would potentially put a picture of Saturn there. Pretty sure I had a Bitmoji version of me right enough with that in it. Let's see, do I? That's much more fitting. There we go. There I am, having some mindfulness time on top of Saturn. So this is what I've got here. It always gives you that preview. Again, for any text on the screen, you do have immersive reader, which can read it aloud, or a nice little personal touch is you can click upload audio, and you can just read it out yourself. So I'll do that just now. So here we go. Oh, upload audio, sorry. Or you can click the microphone and record yourself within the web browser, which is really quick and easy as well. So that's what I was trying to show you to do. Saturn. Saturn has rings made of dust and ice. And then I've clicked this again. You can hear. Done. There's my tag, although it doesn't look very appealing. Let's go back in. Oh, voice. Do apologise. Right, so here we go. Let's change it to, you can change it to, now what's quite nice about all the different tags is that you've got numbers. So if you wanted your pupils to maybe go through the tags in a certain order, if it was relevant, you can number them. Or there could be ones with information, photographs, different pictures that you maybe uploaded, maybe some questions. You can do all sorts of different things with it. If you're linking any kind of maybe a school Twitter account or something like that, you get different social media tags in there as well. We'll go for a star. Star's quite nice. And then what is also nice, it lets you choose the colour. So these are kind of standard ones. There are ways as well which you can do custom tags. So if you didn't like anything at all that was there, which I'm sure wouldn't be the case, you can then upload your own, as long as it's a specific file type. So go for this. So then it changes it to here, and I could maybe pop this up here. So that was the first type of tag. So text and media, it can be, again, it can be just text. You can have links in there to other websites to explore, or it can be just images. You can just upload an image. So if I go back and do one just for example, it can just pop up as a picture. You just need to make sure that it's sitting correctly, because obviously that's cut out some of it because it's a landscape box. Okay, so press done. that'll still be there. And you can delete tags as well, so don't worry, when you can mistake, delete, easy as that. Next type of tag is your text label tag. So that was the one that I had on the questions that the primary ones wanted to answer about their inquiry-based learning about space and their pupil voice, so what they wanted to learn about. So if I add text label and change the icon again, I'll maybe change this to, this isn't a big decision, but sometimes when it's after 3 o'clock in the day, it can take me a wee bit longer to respond to these types of things. So for example, I could maybe put investigate planet Mars. Okay, and then that is just text only, and when you click done, you can again move it around anywhere you want by just dragging it around the page, and all that happens is when you hover over it, investigate the planet Mars, and then if I click it, I can edit it there. And again, they pulse so that you can see them, and it catches your pupil's eyes for the screen. Third type, this is probably my favourite. So you can embed lots of different things. It doesn't just have to be things like forms. You can also embed PowerPoint slides. So if I was quite happy with the way these slides were, if it was a lesson for saying sake, you can go to share. And it isn't working for me just now because my OneDrive permission needs adapted. But so basically it would give you a link there that you can then share, and you can put that in a ThingLink as well. If I go back and, for example, got lots of different links here for videos and different things within space, but instead of the pupils having to copy this one and pause before it starts. So copy link. Now, if I go onto YouTube, that'll give me a link, but it won't give me an embed link. So there's a difference between the two. This says embed code or URL. If I pop that in here, it means that it basically you can be redirected to watch it on YouTube. But if I click, give it an icon quickly, and click done, when the pupils come onto the ThingLink, it keeps them on the ThingLink. Rather than redirecting them onto YouTube and opening a separate browser and everything, it means that the pupils are staying there. And I'm pretty sure there's no adverts either, because when the children are accessing it in my class, the adverts don't come up prior, so it's only the video. There is a screen at the end which will then recommend other videos, and if they click them, it will then take them onto YouTube. But if you embed a video, it means that they're not going anywhere, they're staying within that ThingLink, and I'll show you an example of that shortly as well. So again, you can embed videos, you can embed forms. So for example, if I was going to use a little quiz, I'll just copy this. Now, if you were going to use a quiz or a form or something like that, here's just an example one I completed before. You would go to your share button, and then you'd be looking for, you can use the link, or I like to just use the embed code, so I can copy that there, go back to my ThingLink page, and then just paste that into here, and then the quiz opens directly within that tag in the ThingLink. So again, I would maybe make this one a different colour, because this is what I want them to do. There's a red star this time, and I could pop that over here. So explore the tags, then complete the quiz, and here's the quiz for them. So you could add loads of different videos all over the screen really, or it just depends what you really want them to do. So everything in this quiz could have been answered by one video. So if I go back to here and I find the video, I can then attach that one video. I've lost it now, so way back down. But anyway, so if I embedded that video here, and then they can go into that quiz and they can then answer everything within the quiz from what they've discovered in the ThingLink. And once you've added all your media and you're quite happy to send it to pupils, you would just click, you can click done. And there is a settings part back in there as well, but a lot of the settings can be adapted here. I'll show you what settings looks like here first. So you can change the colour scheme, which is quite nice, always white and purple. There's different colours here, or if you've got hex codes, or if you know hex codes, I used to always love this light blue one. I don't know why. 016F. That was my favourite blue when I was younger. I absolutely loved it. I'll go back to purple. So, and then you can click done. You can disable the animation so that the tags don't pulse anymore, and they're just on the screen. And then when you hover over them, they still go larger, but I think having them pulsing is just to kind of catch the pupils' eyes. You can also hide the ThingLink logo at the right hand corner there, and you can again upload audio to the ThingLink. So rather than just having it direct within a tag, you can upload it so that as soon as someone visits that ThingLink, your voice is talking. So I could maybe do something like, explore the tags, then complete the quiz. So, okay, and then done. So this will probably, so I would then click play for that, and that's when you would hear that audio that I just recorded there. The other thing you can do is you can edit the privacy, so it can be any member of your organisation can access, but sign-in is required, so that would be like your Go. Public means that anyone on the internet can search for it. Unlisted is only those with the link, so they don't have to log in at all. Or private, again, you can give members access so that they can access it. So it could be other teachers who have got an account, or if you've got pupil accounts, but again, this is only with premium accounts, which Lisa will talk about shortly, but I usually just pop them as unlisted, unless I think it would benefit anyone else. If it's quite personal to my setting or my class, then people might not want to use it, but they can if they want. But again, just make sure that any kind of, if you are doing something like where you're recording people's voice or something like that, just make sure that you're following all GDPR just in case. You can rename the ThingLink, so I've got ThingLink Space because that's what that image was called, but again, go back to rename. You can then do space and save it. So I've got it here. You can then move it to a folder, so all the different folders that were there. You can check the statistics, and again, obviously you can see this has got 0 views because I've just created it. This clone feature is really, really good. And again, I'll talk about that shortly as well. We've also got, you can replace the background, so it's tiring. At the end of the day, you make a typo and you upload your image and you go, oh, I've made a mistake, I need to change that. You can then replace the background, and again, that's really good if someone shared a ThingLink with you, they've maybe got their Bitmoji on it, but you want to make it a more personal touch, you can upload your own picture in the background, but all the tags can stay the same. So this means that you can then upload another background image, but all your tags and everything would still stay. And again, you can download it, but I think this is only with it's a different type of account. Forgotten, I checked this yesterday as well. And then you can delete your ThingLink, and then the way to share it with all your pupils, click share. You can embed it within different things, or you can just share a link, and when it says publish to social, it's lots of different types of media, including Microsoft Teams. So I'll pass back over to Lisa, and we'll go through more options.
Just confuse everyone further. Let me go back to my desktop. So one of the things that you can do in a ThingLink is you can create what's known as a tour. Tours are fab. What they do is, if I just take a ThingLink at random, like this one, and I wanted to, it's generally used for an actual physical tour. So if you were doing for example, a video for your upcoming primary ones coming to the school, or your upcoming first years at high school, you would maybe start with the outside of the building and have some sort of 360 image of it. And then if they clicked on the front door, you would want them that take them into like the main entrance sort of reception area of your school. And then if they clicked on a door, that would take them somewhere else. So basically how that's done is just by simply linking ThingLinks, just creating a link from one ThingLink to another ThingLink. And to do that, all you have to do is open up the original one. So let's pretend this is a picture of a school. Click edit, click add tag, and you would come down to the bottom one, which says create tour. Click on that, and then where it says destination, that's where you want them to go. So if this was the main building of the school and I had another photograph or 360 of the reception, that's where I'd want them to go next. So it takes me to all my ThingLinks. I would just choose the next one. Let's just choose that one at random. And you can put some text in for it. And you can obviously change the icon so that it makes sense. Maybe I would use that one, for example. And then click done. If I then say done again, then done. Now if I click on this, so I'm obviously within, this is the front of the building, and if I then click that, it takes me in to the next part. So you can obviously do a chain of those that essentially leads you through a primary school in the sort of infant department, or the upper school, or a high school. You could be going off to like the chemistry department, biology department. That's really useful and handy to know. I quite like that. However, something that's always been there, but what ThingLink have done recently is they've created the ability to do an escape room, and it's done in the exact same way in that you're linking one ThingLink to another ThingLink. However, you only want them to go to the next one if they know the secret code, and that's basic. I'm going to show you how that works now. So escape room, I've not actually, this is a fairly new feature in ThingLink, so I've not had a chance to make one for my pupils yet, so I just quickly did a mock-up just for this training, and which I'll show you just now. So I've got this intro ThingLink, which is basically background royalty-free image of Glasgow Airport, a bit emoji of me looking rather panicked, and if you click on the home button, I've just got like a little, so I've put in sort of a context for what's going on. So the idea is that I've gone to the airport to pick up an international pupil called Keski, and he's not there. Contacted his parents, they said he was going on a world tour before coming to Scotland. I need to get back to Lenzie Meadow, so can you help me find him? His parents said he was last seen in Madrid, so please go there and track down clues to find him. So obviously I'm sure you guys can be more creative than me. You can think of all sorts of other things, like, I don't know, espionage and things like that. There's all sorts of context you could make up. And one of the ones on the ThingLink blog, which is quite nice, is a haunted house, and you're going around different rooms in a haunted house. So loads of context you can come up with. If you click on the question here, it's not automatically taking me to the next place. It's asking me a question, and it's saying, where was Keski last seen? So you have to know the answer to this question in order to progress. So if I just make something up, like Lenzie, for example, it's putting that in red. It's not letting me progress. So if I go back and look at this information, it's like, oh, wait a minute, he was last seen in Madrid. So if I now go back and type Madrid, now it doesn't matter if you capitalize it or not, if it's uppercase, lowercase, or a combination of both. ThingLink is happy to accept any combos there, so you don't have to worry about that. So if I put Madrid, then click there, ta-da, I'm suddenly in Madrid. I put this in because this is one of my favourite hangout spots, and I lived in Madrid. This is Calle de Toledo, but just at Plaza Mayor. This is where you'd see me of a Saturday afternoon. Not that I miss it or anything. So I put in, obviously you come to here, there's some information here. We've got the national flag, information about that. We have just some general information about Madrid in there. We have got a video about the history of Madrid and about the wall surrounding Madrid. As I say, this wasn't made for pupils. I've just done this as a quick mock-up for you guys. Sure you could come up with something much better if a bit of time was put into it. Over here as well, we've got a link to a map and shows us exactly where we are. We're just at Plaza Mayor in city centre of Madrid. So we've got that there. Now, if we click over here, it's saying, now obviously you wouldn't just have a random question like this, like where does pizza come from? You would link it to the content of that ThingLink and come up with some sort of question based on that. But in terms of how this is done, if we go to edit this ThingLink, and let's bring me back to this one. So if you click down here, I can now go to the Madrid one. And if I click on this tag, you can see it's coming up here on the left-hand side. What I did was I clicked on the tour tag, and there's a little toggle button here that says conditional transition. So basically, if that is toggled, it only lets you progress if you put in the correct answer. If you don't put in the correct answer, you're stuck where you are. So you put that in, you type in your question here, and you put in the correct answer. Also, if I wanted to change that, so if I take that correct answer out, I could put choices in here. So I could put in, for example, Spain, then press, oops, should really be capitalized. If I put Spain, then press enter, then Turkey, Japan, Italy, and then obviously I need to tell it the correct answer is Italy. You'll see now it came up as choices. You can put as many choices in as you like. However, I would stick to 2 or 4 just so you've not got them scrolling down here. So if I then click done on here, click done, oh, it's bringing me back to the start. So we go here, type in Madrid, progress to here, come here, where does pizza come from, and then go to Italy. It's now bringing me here. And then obviously I would need to edit this and make, you know, my next stage of the journey. So you'd have a chain of ThingLinks, with the end one being you finding Kesky and bringing them back to Scotland. Now, in terms of those 360s, what you have to do with these is over in the left-hand side here, just on the main part of ThingLink, you'll see it says 360-degree library. If you click on that, there are hundreds and hundreds. We've got Buckingham Palace there, National Trust properties. These aren't individual ThingLinks, these are themes. So if you click on these, it brings you into even more. So there's loads and loads of fun to be had going through all the various different options. And there's some maps in there which are quite good. Northern Lights, that could be quite nice. Be good with a science topic. So what you basically do is you go through, find one that you like, so you can click on it, have a look at it, and then if you decide you do like it, you click up here at the top where it says clone. So are you sure you want to clone it? Yes, I do. So I click clone there. If I then come out, go back to my content, is put the clone of the Northern Lights in here. So what I want to do now is just click on the ellipses, move it to the folder which has got all my escape room stuff in it. So if I put it into the escape room folder and click move, I'll now hopefully see it sitting in here. There we go. So that's it there. So I've got my original intro one. I'm jumping to Madrid, which then jumps to Italy, which potentially can then jump to there. So if I click on this one and I edit it, add a tag, a tour tag, and I want that to suddenly jump to the escape room Northern Lights. I want it to be a conditional transition because I'm doing an escape room. And my question could just be whatever, so question here. And then I can either have them just type the answer or again put my choices in. After each choice you need to press enter, otherwise it just puts all in one big box. So I'll just type answer and click done, click done. So now within here, if I click on there, so that's giving me my question. If I type in answer, ta-da! I've gone to the Northern Lights. I think this could be amazing. I'm already thinking of different escape room ideas for computer science and decoding binary and stuff like that, or linking in like with World War II and the Enigma and doing all sort of like crypto coding and things. My brain's got a bit mad with this. But yeah, I think that could be a whole load of fun. So escape rooms are the way to go, I think, with ThingLink. So that's how you do that. And if I just come back to the PowerPoint. Next up, I just wanted to mention accessibility. Obviously, it's really important when you're creating your ThingLinks to make them as accessible as possible. So if you have like images or mind maps or sketchy notes, it's always really good practice just to help pupils out by maybe having some text in there or just recording your own audio, or even if you've got text there, just showing them how to click on the immersive reader and have immersive reader read it to them. Obviously, you can also use your device's accessibility features to help out with the tags. You can have video clips in there with people doing sign language. And obviously, video itself is a really helpful medium if you're videoing sort of yourself in a context in terms of the verbal and visual clues. So just always think about accessibility when you're creating these. And then I'm going to pass to Michaela, who's going to talk about your options when publishing your ThingLink.
Thank you. So, again, just I'd kind of touched on this prior, but I'll talk about the clones in a wee second. I know we're very pushing it for time. So again, if you were wanting to embed the ThingLink into another type of media, you can do that there by pressing. So once you're finished, you're going to that share button. So you can embed with the embed code and you can copy that. Your link, you can again, I've already pasted that one into the chat, that was already asked for, so you can then have a wee look at the ThingLink that we created here. And again, just like I touched on earlier, just you can publish them to social, but it could be your Google Classroom if that's what you're using, Microsoft Teams, Twitter, different things like that. Again, you can use the link for that as well. So what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll quickly go into I asked the lovely Amanda Picard, who is pretty much a ThingLink queen. She has done lots and lots of different examples, so I'd cloned some of these. So what happens is if you are looking at a ThingLink, you can actually clone it. So I'm thinking of potential for things like phonics. This one is absolutely incredible. The amount of work that's been put into this is amazing. But if you are viewing a ThingLink and you're logged in, you can clone them. So, and even if you're not logged in, I think it asks you to, and then you can press this little icon that says clone, and basically just takes a copy of the ThingLink and then puts it on your account. It's incredible. So if you press clone, are you sure you want to clone? So Lisa had already touched on this earlier on, because you were cloning the scenes that you wanted in the escape room. Now, this is just, honestly, wait until you see this. So I know this might not be for secondary teachers, but if there's potential for colleagues, if you're collaborating on something, if you've got a stage partner or a level partner and you're working on similar concepts, you can clone each other's ThingLinks, or you can focus on a certain area, and it means it can be reused. So for example, I teach primary 1, but Amanda Picard created this. So for every single sound, she has got Geraldine the giraffe, 3 videos embedded in there, so don't have to go anywhere again. There is ideas for again, more phonics ideas. There is, again, more videos in there, but there's also links to like dance mat typing and different things like that. So again, you can embed websites, sorry, not embed websites, you can upload them here, and then that will redirect you to the websites there. But she even has embedded a sway. So if you're presenting a sway for your teaching, she's went through and done it for every single sound in primary 1. So for example, this is just like a presentation, like a PowerPoint, but it's in a sway, which you can embed in your ThingLink. So then she's got the story for the snake, for identifying all the words. She's then got the action and the sound. Here they are, different Jolly Phonics ones. Here's the song. And then she has popped the song in, so you can actually listen to it all within ThingLink. So you're not going anywhere else. Snake is in the grass. So then you're going after that, you get letter formation. So think about using other types of things. So if you've been on maybe the forms training or the sway training, you can embed them in your ThingLinks as well. And I now have this resource. I didn't make any of it, but someone made it, and then I was able to clone it. And then anything that I want to change, I'm able to change it. All these little custom tags were again uploaded by somebody else, but it's cloned it, and I can save it into a folder, and I can reuse that within my classroom as well. And if I go back again, more different ideas. There's a skeleton one, other virtual classrooms, and another example of a clone that I'd taken from Amanda, and I asked her if I could mention her. I'll give you her Twitter handle as well, because some of the stuff she's shared is brilliant. I had actually taken this from her, so she had actually done a very similar background, and I just recreated my own background, but all these tags for the days of the week and the months of the year were already there. I literally pressed clone and I replaced the background, and then I could go in and edit the text, because she actually had this originally as Wilson, which is her pet parrot's, classroom, and I've then been able to go on and change it to Little Walt the Westie. So if there are other people out there, it might be just worth collaborating with others or sharing the ThingLinks that you've got, and then hopefully we can get more from each other, and it means we're not reinventing the wheel every time. But yeah, your sharing options are always at top right, and you've got your different options to embed in it, so making it that it pops up in a window. You can share the link or publish it that way as well. Sorry, I'm very aware we're tight for time. I don't want to keep anyone.
Michaela, I've just got a question asking about ideas of ThingLinks for secondary pupils. Are you aware of anyone on Twitter that's doing it? What Amanda's doing, but with secondary?
For secondary, I'm not off the top of my head, but I'll look into it and see if there are any. Just flicking through Twitter, I'll have a wee look. But there's nobody that pops off the top of my head that's quite done it like the way Amanda has. But
for me,
what do you think, Mandy?
Amanda's the main one, but
Yeah.
maybe some geographers that have done them.
Yeah.
The whole doing virtual geography field trips through ThingLink. So there may be some geographers that exist out there that have done them, and also possibly some virtual art exhibitions. That's another one that I've heard of, but I can't give you any names at the moment. But yeah, certainly I'll be looking for them as well.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Mandy. So that's Amanda's Twitter there, and she's got basically a big wakelet, so like a big list of all the different ones that she created, her favourite ones. And yeah, she's just absolutely brilliant. I'll paste this into the chat as well, just for any primary practitioners that might benefit from it.
If you're a primary teacher, you should definitely follow Amanda. She is amazing.
Absolutely.
The stuff she's doing in ThingLink is brilliant. She's an inspiration. So if you're not following Amanda, you really should.
You really need to, and then you can basically pinch some of her work and use it in your own class. I mean, that's
And look
really
brilliant.
great, you know what I mean? And it looks great. Yeah, back to you, Lisa. Thank you.
I think we've pretty much gone through all of the slides. I think the last thing to talk about is just the codes. Let me just double check. Yes, it is. There is a ThingLink blog which we'll put up as well, which is really worth checking out. That's got it's got like a haunted house, which is really interesting, based on a book, and again that's an escape room one. So it's good just to have a really, as well as following Amanda, I would recommend going on the ThingLink blog. In fact, for secondary people, there might be some secondary stuff in the ThingLink blog. I can't think off the top of my head because I tend to just ignore secondary stuff because it's not pertinent to me. But I'll put a link up. So have a look at the ThingLink blog. It's sharing good practice in there. And if you do make a ThingLink, feel free to share it in the digital learning community under the sharing good practice. And everyone could, because I'm sure between us all, there's a whole wealth of year groups in secondary and in primary that we could make use of each other's work by cloning it and just adapting it to suit ourselves. If you're a member of the MEC, which hopefully you all are, please go on and redeem your code for today's session and you can earn credits. I think personally the great thing about the MEC for me is when it comes to doing my professional update, I just click on it and I can see all the courses I've done and the dates to update in there. So if your birthday is an odd date, put in the top code, and if it's an even date, put in the bottom code. And we'll put up a link to a sway as well, which shows you how to go in and redeem your code in the MEC. And it also talks about the different badges. Think about becoming an MIEE and join the small but growing Eastern Partnershire team of us. Does anyone have any questions about anything we've covered? You can turn on your camera or just type in the chat. No, everyone's good. Well, thank you so much for coming. And hopefully we've inspired you.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yeah.
I can't seem to get my chat function to work today, which is rather annoying. I never usually have a problem. No, I've kind of made a kind of very basic ThingLink, so today's been great to add other things to it. And I was wanting to share it with my new primary one parents. So I was just wondering what the best way to do that is. You went through that quite quick for my level of ability with ThingLink. So
are you on Teams? Is your primary one class on Teams? You know when you're in...
No,
you're not.
No, my new primary ones.
Oh, okay. Oh, the new ones coming out. Okay.
I've made like a tour and different things that I want to send out. So I've got all the email addresses of the parents. So I really want to group call and email to them with the ThingLink?
Yeah, just with the link then, just with the share link, and that'll
just the
take
link.
them to it.
I'll quickly show you again. If I come back onto, so any ThingLink again, you're just going to the share button. Once you're quite happy with it, go to your share button, and then it would just be share link in the middle.
Right.
And just copy and paste your link into your group call or your email or whatever it is with all their different email addresses. And I would just say, to access the tour, you can follow this link, and then basically just redirect them there.
That's great. Thank you.
For those teachers that are on Teams, if you take the share link that Michaela just showed you from ThingLink, you can click on the new tab option in Teams, and then click on the website app and just put it in that way, so it comes up as a tab on your class team.
Will I quickly demo that?
Yeah, it's maybe worth doing a wee quick.
What is? Don't know why I'm muting the microphone again. I'll just come out of here. I'll pop into a demo team and just show you quickly how to do that, because I've actually done that a couple of times. I forgot to say about that.
We did that every week in primary one with during home learning. It's just really useful. They just know to click on the tab and just delete the old one, put the new one in.
That's it. And it means that obviously you can update it when it sees fit. So share, and then you can do your share link. You can hide the ThingLink interface or not. It's totally up to yourself, and press copy. And you're going into your Microsoft Teams. So here's our used demo team, and all you're doing is going to that tab, top tab, right hand side, add a tab, and then you can go to add a website. Sorry, that was a wee bit fast. Here we go, add a website. Okay, so it's that first one, but there's obviously lots and lots you can add in here. But if you add your website, and this one was space, and then you just, so that's your title, that's the name that will come up in the tab. So like class notebook assignments, and then it will pop up saying space. And you just copy and paste the link in there. You can either post the channel about the tab or not. I'll keep it ticked so you can see what that looks like. And there we go. So then, this is what I do every day with my class. So it means that I'm not coming out of Teams. They're all on that ThingLink, and they're exploring all the different songs and games and everything else. And unless it's actually, like, for example, this game, please excuse my voice again. Here I am. Oh, but if you click that blue button, it will then redirect you to the site that the game is on, but everything else, so all the videos and things, are all within the ThingLink because they're embedded in there. So it means that if you're on your Teams, I like to just keep them there. It means that I can leave it on the smartboard and they can then explore, but it's really, really quick and easy to do. So it can be popped in lots and lots of different places, but I'll come back over here. There we go.
So fab. Thank you all for coming, and hopefully you'll all be creating loads of ThingLinks.
Oh, big shout out to Mrs. Crawford. I can't wait to see you, Mrs. Crawford, when you come back. It is brilliant, and I'm sure you'll have loads of fun with ThingLink. Absolutely. Can you put a PowerPoint on, Mrs.? Yes, you can. You can. Basically, I'll again quickly share my screen. So, for example, if you are in here, so if you're quite happy with how your presentation looks, you can then go to share. The only reason I can't do it is Lisa has heard me moan about this for the past few months. My OneDrive is not working. I don't have permission to access my own OneDrive at the moment, which is baffling, but yeah, that's the situation I'm in. But you would just go to, so on your PowerPoint slides, you would go to share at the top right hand side, and then it says, sorry, something is preventing us from sharing this because I don't actually have access, because it would automatically do it through OneDrive. It would then give you a link there that you can use, and then you can pop that into your ThingLink. So yes, you can share PowerPoint slides in a ThingLink.
Yeah, very, Google very Slides too, if you're a Google fan.
Yes, if you're a Google person. Lovely to see all the names. You're all very welcome. Thank you for coming. Because I'm aware how tired I am, so I can imagine how tired other people are.
Yeah, don't forget to redeem your codes, everyone.
Please do. Helps us lots. And it'll help yourself lots as well. I'm talking like a primary one now. It's that time of day.
You're done.
Yep.
Me too.
But thank you for coming.